Hello. In this video, we will learn in detail about chloroplast and mitochondria, which are also known as kitchen of the cell and powerhouse of the cell, respectively. We will begin with a short introduction to plastids, followed by structure of chloroplast, types of photosynthetic pigments, how chloroplasts have originated, various functions of chloroplast, and types of plastids. Then we will move on to mitochondria, where we will study its structure, about mitochondrial crest showing oxysomes, difference between inner membrane and outer membrane, and its function. Finally, we will compare chloroplast and mitochondria by learning about their similarities as well as their differences. Let's begin with the plastids. Plastids are double membrane bound cytoplasmic organelles found in the plant cells but are absent in animal cell. They are seen in certain protists, example Euglena. The term plastid was introduced by Ernst Haeckel in 1866 but was defined by A. F. W. Schimper in 1883. Plastids are the site of manufacture and storage of important chemical compounds used by the cells of autotrophic eukaryotes. Can you name the different types of plastids? They are chloroplast, chromoplast, gerontoplast, leucoplast. Leucoplasts are of three types: amyloplast, proteinoplast, ileoplast. Let us start with chloroplast. Just see the diagram carefully. You can see a double membrane bound structure. The outer and inner membrane is collectively called peristromium. Each membrane of the chloroplast is trilaminar and lipoproteinous. Both the membranes are separated from one another by a fluid-filled space known as the periplastidial space. The inner contents of the chloroplast are composed of the matrix or stroma and the grana. The matrix is colorless and colloidal, containing proteins, lipids, ribosomes, a small circular DNA molecule, RNA molecules, enzymes, etc. Matrix is also known as stroma. The grana and intergrana connecting membranes are embedded in the matrix. Since the chloroplast can manufacture some of the proteins with the help of its own DNA and ribosomes, it is called semi-autonomous organelle. Each granum consists of small, disc-like, superimposed membranous structures known as thylakoids. It's clearly seen in the diagram. These thylakoids remain arranged parallelly to form the stack. Photosynthetic pigments are embedded in the thylakoid. Grana are interconnected by membranes called stroma lamellae or frets. They help in rapid transport of materials. In short, the chloroplast has two important structures, namely grana and stroma. Grana is the site of light reaction during photosynthesis since it contains many chlorophyll pigments, and dark reaction during photosynthesis takes place in the stroma, which is rich in enzymes. Chloroplasts trap the solar energy which is used for manufacturing the food and is popularly known as the kitchen of the cell. Next, we shall learn about the types of photosynthetic pigments. Chlorophylls are the most important and abundant active pigment of photosynthesis. They are green in color. There are different types of chlorophyll. Chlorophyll A is present in all photosynthetic organisms. Chlorophyll A, blue-green color, empirical formula C55H72O5N4Mg. Chlorophyll B, yellow-green color, empirical formula C55H70O6N4Mg. It is also predominant and found in green algae, bryophytes and all vascular plants. Chlorophyll C, D, E are found in brown and red algae along with chlorophyll A. Chlorophyll A and B show maximum absorption in blue-violet and red region of visible light. Next type of photosynthetic pigments are the carotenoids, which show wide range in color from yellow, orange to red. They mainly absorb blue-violet region of visible light. There are two main types of carotenoids, carotenes and xanthophylls. Carotenes, orange color, empirical formula C40H56. Major carotene in plants is beta-carotene. Xanthophylls, yellow color, C40H56O2. Lutein is the major xanthophyll found in plants. Phycobilins are present only in cyanobacteria, that is blue-green algae and red algae. They are of two types depending on the color, namely phycocyanin, blue, and phycoerythrin, that is red. In higher plants, there are chlorophyll A, chlorophyll B, carotene and xanthophyll. Chlorophyll A is the only pigment that can absorb and convert light energy into chemical energy. Therefore, it is called essential pigment and acts as reaction center. Chlorophyll B and carotenoids absorb light energy of different wavelengths and transfer it to chlorophyll A by resonance. They are called accessory pigments. We shall discuss origin of chloroplast. In higher plants, the new chloroplast develops from the proplastids. The proplastids are spheroid structures made up of two unit membranes and contains dense stroma. Vesicles are pinched off from the inner membrane of the chloroplast. They arrange themselves parallel to each other and fuse together to form lamellae. At certain places, the vesicles arrange themselves in bundles of thylakoids to form a grana. Some thylakoids remain connected with each other by the stromal lamellae or frets in the mature chloroplast. Now we shall look into the functions of chloroplast. Main function of chloroplast is to perform photosynthesis. The chloroplast trap the solar energy and convert it into chemical energy with the help of carbon dioxide and water. During photosynthesis, Oxygen is given out as a byproduct and is used by aerobic organisms for respiration. Chloroplast, by using carbon dioxide during photosynthesis, keeps its concentration in the air normal. According to Shimpa, different kinds of plastids can transform into one another as shown in the slide. Leucoplast can be converted into chloroplast or chromoplast and vice versa. Chloroplast into chromoplast and so on. We have discussed chloroplast in detail. By the way, if you're getting some value out of this lecture, please like and share the video so that all of us can learn, unlearn and relearn together. Also, please consider subscribing the channel and press the bell icon to get instant notification of all the upcoming videos. Other than chloroplast, there are various other types of plastids. We can summarize the different types of plastids with their specialized functions with the help of the following slide. Etioplasts are the precursor of chlorophyll. Chloroplast is the site of photosynthesis. Chromoplasts are colored plastids containing various pigments, namely carotenoids, and carry on photosynthesis. Have you ever thought how the color of tomato slowly changes from green to red? Green tomatoes, apples, chilies turn red on ripening by replacing chlorophyll with the red pigment lycopene, and later carotene helps in the final coloring. Leucoplasts are non-pigmented organelles which are colorless. They store reserve food materials and help in the synthesis of fatty acids and amino acids. Amyloplasts synthesize and store starch and sugar enclosed by a protein sheath. The conversion of glucose into starch is the characteristic of amyloplast. They are present in rice grains, wheat grains, etc. Proteinoplasts store proteins. They are found in the cells of maize grains. Eleoplast helps in storing fats and oils. They are seen in the cells of endosperm of castor seeds. They are also known as lipidoplasts. Finally, gerontoplasts are basically chloroplasts that are going through the aging process. We have learnt about plastids in detail. I have some practice questions for you. Please share your answers in the comment section below. You can pause the video and write down the questions. Next organelle which we are going to study is the mitochondria. The mitochondria are filamentous or granular cytoplasmic organelles of all aerobic cells of higher animals and plants, and also of certain microorganisms including algae, protozoa and fungi. These are absent in bacterial cells. The mitochondria have lipoprotein framework containing many enzymes which are required for energy metabolism. They are popularly known as the powerhouse of the cell. The mitochondria was first observed by Kolliker in 1880, who isolated them from muscle cells of insects. The present name mitochondria was assigned by Benda in 1898. Hoojboom in 1948 has shown that mitochondria is the site for cellular respiration. Next, we shall study about the structure of mitochondria in detail. The mitochondria are bounded by a double membrane envelope which provides good tensile strength, stability, and flexibility to them. The outer membrane and the inner membrane are made up of proteins and phospholipid layers separated by the intermembrane space. The outer membrane has a large number of special proteins known as porins. The inner mitochondrial membrane lines the innermost part, which is filled with matrix. The mitochondrial matrix is a viscous fluid which contains lipids, proteins, circular DNA molecules, ribosomes, and certain granules which help the mitochondria to accumulate ions. Carefully notice the inner mitochondrial membrane. It gives out tubular invaginations called cristae. These structures increase the surface area. They penetrate the mitochondrial matrix. The cristae and the proteins of the inner membrane aid in the production of ATP molecules. ATP stands for adenosine triphosphate. The cristae have in them a narrow intracrystal space. The inner membrane is strictly permeable to oxygen and ATP molecules. The inner mitochondrial membrane has inner membrane subunits or elementary particles or oxysomes. An oxysome consists of three parts: a round headpiece or F1 subunit, joined by a short stalk to a base piece or F0 subunit. The oxysome is also known as F0 F1 complex, represents adenosine triphosphatase or ATPase or ATP synthetase enzyme. It is concerned with ATP formation. In the inner mitochondrial membrane are present electron carrier molecules of the electron transport chain, which is required during respiration. Mitochondria are semi-autonomous organelles. They are capable of self-duplication or replication as they have their own genetic material, DNA and ribosomes. Next, we shall look into the differences between outer and inner mitochondrial membrane. Outer membrane has less surface area. Inner membrane has infoldings called cristae, which increases the membrane's surface area. Protein content in outer membrane is roughly equal to that of lipids. Protein content is quite high, up to 80%, while lipid content is low in inner membrane. Cardiolipins are absent in outer membrane. Cardiolipins are present in inner membrane. Outer membrane is freely permeable. Inner membrane is semi-permeable. Lipid contain large amount of cholesterol in outer membrane. Cholesterol is absent in inner membrane. Outer membrane bears porins or protein-lined channels for free movement of molecules across the membrane. Inner membrane bears carrier and other transport proteins and number of enzymes for transport of subunits across the membrane. Next, we'll switch over to functions of mitochondria. Mitochondria help in cellular respiration through the process of oxidative phosphorylation. The ATP is used to bring about energy requiring activities in the cell. It also helps in growth of new cells. Mitochondria regulate metabolic activities of the cell. It also maintains an adequate concentration of calcium ions within the cell, which in turn regulates many biochemical activities in the cell. Mitochondria takes part in various cellular activities like cellular differentiation, cell senescence, etc. Matrix of mitochondria contain enzymes for the synthesis of fatty acids. The mitochondria are also responsible for triggering apoptosis. Apoptosis eliminates precancerous and virus-infected cells. It maintains the balance of cells in the human being and is particularly important in the immune system. As in this video, we have learnt about chloroplast and mitochondria in detail. Let's look into the similarities and differences between the two. First, let us see the similarities. Double membrane envelope is present in both the organelles. Involutions are formed from the inner membrane. Both are semi-autonomous organelles. Both take part in energy transduction. Mechanism of ATP formation is similar in both organelles. They produce amino acids and fatty acids. Next, we move on to the differences between mitochondria and chloroplast. Mitochondria is responsible for energy metabolism and cellular respiration and hence known as powerhouse of the cell. Chloroplast is the site where photosynthesis takes place and hence known as kitchen of the cell. Mitochondria is a colorless organelle. Chloroplast is green in color. Matrix and cristae are present in the inner chamber of mitochondria. Stroma and thylakoid are the inner parts of a chloroplast. Mitochondria do not possess any pigment. Chlorophyll, carotenoid, and other photosynthetic pigments are present in chloroplast. Mitochondria consume oxygen. Chloroplast release oxygen. In mitochondria, energy in the form of ATP is released by breaking down organic food producing carbon dioxide and water. Chloroplast stores energy in the form of ATP and uses carbon dioxide and water to produce glucose. Cristae in mitochondria remain attached to inner membrane. Thylakoids separate from inner membrane in chloroplast. Mitochondria functions at all times irrespective of day and night. Chloroplast functions only in the presence of sunlight. So in this video, we have studied both chloroplast and mitochondria in detail. I have some practice questions for you. Please share your answers in the comment section below. You can pause the video and write down the questions if you like. Thank you so much for your time and participation. If you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, please consider subscribing the channel and press the bell icon to get instant notification of all the upcoming videos. Also, if you want to discuss any particular topic in biology, please mention that in the comment section below. I'll see you there. Goodbye. All the best.